So I'm here with Jack Massey on Fight Week, ahead of a huge week, of course. It's for an IBO World title. Just how we feel now on Fight Week and how the nerves holding up.
Yeah, I feel great, mate. Thanks for having me on, first of all. But yeah, I feel good. Ready to go. It's fight week now, so just ticking over, ready for the fight on Friday. So feel great, mate. Camp's gone well, and couldn't be happier.
It's safe to say this is probably one of your biggest fights, if not your biggest, in terms of the media side you've had to do. I've seen quite a lot of different media sets you've had to do. Is that something you've enjoyed as an experience?
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of it. It's the biggest fight of my life, a world title fight. And it's just all part of it, and you got to embrace it. And we're professional sportsmen at the end of the day, sports people. So it's part of the job, and you just got to be professional about it. So I do enjoy it though. It's good. It's good. Obviously, good for me. It builds my reputation and builds that side of things. So it's good.
Yeah, it does all help, of course. So obviously headlining the biggest FightZone cards so far as well. I mean, how does that feel at this stage of your career?
Yeah, it feels great. It feels good. Obviously, FightZone, they're doing really well now. Start with FightZone. This is my second fight with them. The last fight, that was for the IBF European title, and now they've got me a world title. But it feels great to be headlining, a show like this, and it'll be good. And it's nice to see, FightZone obviously progressing in the boxing as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, they are progressing really well. It is a really good card as well. But at 28 years old and 19 fights in now, I mean, is this the best Jack Massey that we're seeing right now?
Absolutely, mate. Definitely. The times now. We've this is what we've trained towards. My whole boxing career. A world title fight. So the times now, perfect timing. I'm at the right age. I've matured into a good strong boxer. So the timing's perfect.
It's good to hear. So obviously about the fight, I mean, what do you know about your opponent then? Because obviously he's won 5 out of the last 6, and obviously the only loss come from against Tony McCarthy in a majority decision loss for the European title back in 2020.
Yeah,
it
very
looks
close.
yeah, very close fight. It looks a solid fight, doesn't he, on paper?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's only lost to sort of world level opposition. He's young. He's only a year older than me. I think he's 29. So, he's coming for the win, and he's coming for the world title. So it's got the makings of a good fight. He took Tommy McCarthy through 12 rounds. For a good fight. So he's not coming to mess about. He's coming for that title. So it's got the makings of a great fight.
Yeah. So what sort of threat are you expecting for him then?
I don't think he's much of a puncher. I think obviously he's a bit of a boxer. He's very tough. It'll be hard work trying to get him out of there. We won't be looking for the stoppage, but if it's there, we'll take it. But he's a very tough opponent. But he looks a little bit awkward at times as well. And he went 12 rounds with McCarthy. He said he only had 4 weeks notice. He looked comfortable through the 12 rounds, so he's going to be fit and ready for this one. So, but it's there for the taking.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of this fight, I mean, like you say, then he's obviously a good 12-round fighter. Obviously, you're not looking for the stoppage, but you have got that punch power and that the pedigree as well. I mean, how do you win this fight then? Is it just a case of staying on top the whole time and then trying to impose yourself?
Yeah, I think staying on top, grinding him down. I think he'll feel the shots later on in the rounds. And then if the stoppage is there and later on in the rounds, then we'll definitely be taking it. But I think it's going to come, but later on in the rounds, definitely.
So obviously this is an opportunity for you to rise to a whole new level in terms of your career and your stature. What does a win do for your career then on Saturday?
It pushes us into big things. We struggled for fights in the past. Struggled to get these fights, and it's a good bargaining chip. It's a world title alone itself. So it'll push us into maybe another world title fight or or see what's there after this. But get through this fight first, and we'll go from there. Obviously, no one wanted to fight me before this, and then see if people want to fight me now. Now when I've got the title. So
yeah, does a win here just put that target on your back then for everyone else to come and chase?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. That's good. That's what I need.
So obviously we look at the British scene. Obviously, it's in terms of the cruiserweight landscape, it's British fighters sort of dominating in terms of at world level as well. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, they look at the sort of the top 10 fighters on Box Rec in the cruiserweight division. It seems as if the British fighters are the strongest set out of the top 12, 13 fighters there. How's it feel to be part of a great crop of British fighters?
Yeah, it feels great. It's booming, which is great for British boxing. You've got some good fights there to be made on British soil, English soil. So it's exciting.
It's a bit like the light heavyweight division where you've got the likes of Buatsi, Calm Smith, Anthony Yard, Lyndon Arthur, and then you've got a Coley, Riakporhe, Bilal Smith, Tommy McCarthy, yourself. I mean, yeah. We're moaning that we don't get the fights at light heavyweight. Do you think it'd be easier to make the fights at cruiser because some of you have crossed paths before?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't think there'll be. I mean, that's if they want to take the fight with me. I don't know. We've tried a few of them, but yeah, they're all there to be made. It makes sense. They're all exciting fights and exciting fighters, so it makes sense, and it'll be good for the fans. It'll be good for the boxing fans, and it'll be good for us lads as well. So, it makes sense.
Is there anyone you really want out of them? I mean, because obviously Riakporhe has been back on the scene the last few months, getting a couple of good wins. It seems like Bilal Smith's at European fringe world level. You and Riakporhe again, world level, fringe world level, and then Akoli, obviously world champion. Are these fights looking to be next, are they, or would you just want to assess in terms of defending straight away, or would you just look straight for perhaps the top dogs?
Yeah, definitely. We'll see that's what's there, but all of those fights, Coley, he's got the world title. We were supposed to fight. I think it was in 2016 for the British title. Ended up having to pull out with an injury, ruptured my bicep. So that'll be nice to get that fight back on. Bilal Smith, we've asked for it. Got turned away, but that's a good fight. We met in the ABA finals. I beat him in the ABA finals, so it'd be good to do it again. And obviously Riakporhe as well. A bit of a controversial decision when I fought him for the British title, and it'd be good to obviously fight again and get the win over him.
Yeah, a lot of people did think a lot of people thought you nicked that one.
Yeah, obviously he's not got anything, under his wing at the minute. He's not got any titles, but he's been out of the ring for a couple of years or whatever. So see what happens. Let him build himself back up. If he can get a major title, then make it happen. Yeah,
that sounds good. Is it possible if you could sort of rank those fighters, from fifth best to first best out of Akoli, Riakporhe, Bilal Smith, and Tommy McCarthy, and you?
I'm gonna say me at the top, obviously. I'd say Akoli, Riakporhe, then Bilal Smith.
Yeah, I think that's
just going for last performances. I reckon so.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest. Yeah. So obviously the weird news about the last week was the talks of Canelo going up to fight, Macabre, and I mean, how do you respond to that as a fight? I mean, as a fan, it's very strange to hear, but obviously very tantalizing. But for yourself, how does it feel to hear something like that?
Yeah, it's exciting. Never would have thought I'd see that coming. It's great, good for him. Making the leap up to cruiserweight. Macabre is no one to be, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he's a good, strong fighter. He's probably a bit smaller than most cruiserweights. I'm not sure his height. I know he's a bit smaller, so it would probably suit Canelo a little bit more. But yeah, it'd be a good fight. But it'll be nice if he wants to wants to get the IBO title as well. That'll be lovely.
Yeah, I mean, how are the cruiserweights sort of? I mean, obviously you've got your own feelings, but I mean, is there a sort of inside boxing talk where people cruiserweights have reacting to the possibility of even facing him?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, you've got I think Fingy wants to fight as well. Breedis, he's a world champion. I think he wants to fight. I've seen him on his socials, doing bits. I think he wants the Okoli fight as well. But when Canelo fought Golovkin, Golovkin had the IBO title. So, if he wants to do it at cruiserweight, then I'm definitely up for that. It'll be great to share a ring with him.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of talk of him coming over to England.
A payday as well. Payday. We could all do with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he is coming to England at some point to fight, I don't know what weight, but obviously he will be looking at England at some point. If you could get yourself.
Sorry, pal. I just got phone's going mad this week.
Yeah, I bet, mate. Yeah, obviously Canelo wants to fight in England at some point. So I mean, it's not completely out of the question for anyone. I think if you put yourself in a big standing in the cruiserweight division, who knows? But obviously all hypothetical for now. But yeah, any sort of last comments on the fight this week? Then obviously you've got for a couple of days to go now, and it's just all about getting the win, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously make sure you tune in on FightZone TV on the 26th of November, which is this Friday. And, it's a good undercard as well. It's a stacked undercard. We've got a couple of other titles. And, we've got a few lads out of our camp as well. Billy Denise, Charlie Schofield and Josh Holmes on it as well. So it's going to be a good night of boxing all around.
Yeah, definitely. Great stuff, and all the best as well. Good luck for this Friday, and we'll be tuned in to see you make history.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate having me on. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, pal.